Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video here on the Around the Slice YouTube channel. Today, I am starting a series of going through a handful of teams, 7-round 2024 NFL mock draft. Obviously, some teams have more picks than others, so this will be a fun exercise. So, over the next week or so, week and a half or so, a couple weeks leading up to the draft, I will be getting to as many teams as possible. My main focus is the AFC because obviously this is a Bills-centered podcast, being around the slice. So AFC is most important to me. So we're probably only going to get to the AFC teams. But specifically today, we're going to start with the AFC East because obviously that's my division. That's the Bills division. Patriots, Jets, Dolphins, lifelong rivals of myself and the Bills. So the schedule for this, we're going to be uploading one a day, maybe one every other day, but my goal is to finish the whole AFC by this draft, which is officially 2 weeks away today. So yeah, if you want to see all 32 teams, eventually I will have those posted on my Twitter. Quick plug at AWeingartner13 if you want to follow that, because it is important if you want a sneak peek. Because last evening, yesterday, whatever time it was, I posted the 7-round mock draft for the Patriots, Jets, and then Dolphins, all three in succession within like an hour and a half of each other, sometime in that time frame. So to give you a sneak preview, but I want to flesh out my thoughts in actual videos here today. So without further ado, let's get into it. One more housekeeping note, if you will. I'll be going in the order of the first round picks, highest first round pick between the three. So Patriots have 3rd overall. Next video will be Jets at 10th overall, and then capping the AFC East in a few days or whenever I get to it. Hopefully within the next few days, fingers crossed. The Dolphins are the 21st overall pick. No trades in this. We're just going strictly by how many picks they have. So the New England Patriots have 8 total picks in the 2024 NFL draft. That's a healthy amount. Basically, if you have 6 or more, that's a pretty healthy amount. I mean, not everyone can be like the Bills have 11, but 6 or more, that's a pretty healthy amount. Now, for the Patriots, obviously, to be honest, I have disdain for this team, being a Bills fan, but I'm going to take off my Bills bias glasses / goggles, if you will, and just look at these videos strictly from a neutral fan / NFL GM perspective if I were a GM. So let's get into it. At 3rd overall, to me, this is pretty straightforward. I know if some people think maybe there's some smoke screens out there that they should trade back, or maybe they take Joe Alt. Yes, Joe Alt out of offensive tackle, stud left tackle out of Notre Dame is like all pro caliber, even Hall of Fame caliber, far and away the best tackle prospect in this draft with a pretty loaded tackle class at that. But I think that's a smokescreen. I don't think you trade away from the quarterback here. I'm going to mention it's either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. And in this simulator, I'm using PFN, Pro Football Network's mock draft simulator. So thank you for them with all their tools and stuff. But 3rd overall, in the simulator, it was Caleb Williams, one of the Bears. Interesting enough, it was Commanders, Drake May, number 2 overall, the Commanders. Number 3 overall here, we have Jaden Daniels, QB LSU. I know you have Jacoby Brissett, but that's not stopping me from trading back. That's not stopping me from drafting Jaden Daniels. You have a bridge quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, which I think Jacoby Brissett is very serviceable when he starts. He's always good when he starts. Do you want him starting for a whole season? No. So maybe if he struggles for some reason, you put in Jaden Daniels. My one knock on Jaden Daniels is he was at the combine, he measured in whatever at 210 pounds. I think even at LSU played at like 195, 200. I mean, thin frame, and he takes big unnecessary hits. He doesn't really know when to slide or go out of bounds, so that's my one knock on him if I were. But I'm a big fan of Jaden Daniels. He's like my guy of this quarterback draft class. Obviously, killer on the ground, killer with the deep ball. So yeah, Jaden Daniels, 34th overall, 2nd pick of the 2nd round. I don't know how this guy was still available, but Adonai Mitchell, AD Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas. Now, again, as a Bills fan, I don't want this to happen, but neutral fan, neutral GM, take off Bills bias, glasses, goggles, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, AD Mitchell. I just think they need to rehaul all these offensive weapons other than Hunter Henry and Demario Douglas. Kind of. That's the only one I like. Kendrick Bourne coming off a torn ACL. What's he really going to do? slight frame. Actually, he's pretty big, but Kendrick Bourne coming with torn ACL. Juju Smith-Schuster, like total flop ever since he left Pittsburgh for those few years, and I think he has an immature personality as well. Kayshon Boutte getting in legal trouble, getting in trouble with betting and stuff. Just like projected top 10 pick going to a 6th-round pick, nearly went undrafted because of those red flags. Who else do we have? Their collection of like bottom tier athletes. So I think they need to get athletic guys here. AD Mitchell's not a straight burner, but I think they need to rehaul all these weapons other than Hunter Henry. And I like Ramondre Stevenson, but I'm talking about wide receivers specifically. The only one I like is Demario Douglas. And ideally, he's like a wide receiver 3. That's 4 at most. So last year was their wide receiver 1. You need to get a couple guys to step up there. So AD Mitchell at 34th overall. 58th overall. This one's interesting. I have them going Braden Fisk, defensive tackle, Florida State. We got to get someone to pair next to stud nose tackle Christian Barmore. I think he's a stud in the making. Obviously, a former 2nd-round pick out of Alabama going into his 4th year in the league. I think he's the next defensive tackle, not to reset the market, but get up there for sure. Obviously, he's not going to touch like Christian Wilkins or Chris Jones money, but maybe like in the ilk of realm of Jeffrey Simmons, Quinn Williams, something like that. So I have them going Braden Fisk because they released Lawrence Guy, and Lawrence Guy was aging and not very good last year anyway. But Braden Fisk to start and pair with Christian Barmore, and then you got a pretty good defensive line there. Really, really damn good defensive line actually there with Christian Barmore at nose tackle, Braden Fisk at defensive tackle next to him, and on the edges you got Josh Uche and Matthew Judon, and you brought back Anthony Jennings for whatever that's worth, and Kean White I didn't even mention, so who can play on the edge mostly, but reduce inside and play very well still. Going to 2nd year, that's a breakout candidate to watch in my opinion. At pick number 100 overall, we're going to double up here and go wide receiver out of Florida State, Johnny Wilson. He's 6'6", 231 pounds, so maybe you can put him at tight end. He can play move tight end. Maybe he can be a huge slot tight end. Maybe he can be inline tight end. Apparently, though, he wants to stay at wide receiver. He's been on record saying that. Going into the Senior Bowl, people thought he would work out with the tight ends. He didn't take a single snap with them. In the game, he played wide receiver. Actually, I don't even think he played in the actual game. A lot of prospects do that. They just practice. But yeah, Johnny Wilson, 6'6", 231. We got AD Mitchell, who's really athletic for his size at 6'2", 205. Lean frame, though. And then Johnny Wilson, very thick player, if you will. Kind of like opposite of lean frame. He can win jump balls. His catch radius is absolutely absurd, and he can move very well for like 6'6", 231. So I said we're revamping all these weapons, specifically talking about the wide receivers, and we are. Next, I have pick 137 overall, Jonah Ellis, edge, Utah. We got it. Maybe this can, I'm looking at this as the successor. First of all, this is a really good value in the 4th round. I think this is 137 overall. And second of all, Jonah Ellis can be the Anthony Jennings replacement. And then, like, D-line, I mean, that edge group is really potent with Judon. Maybe more looking at the Judon replacement because he's 29-30 by now, getting up there. So, yeah, I got Jonah Ellis at 137 overall for the Patriots, edge, Utah. Next, 180 overall for the Patriots, I got Eric All, tight end, Iowa. There's not much. Fun fact, started at Michigan with Cade McNamara, and then once Cade McNamara, QB, transferred to Iowa to be a starting QB, Eric All went with him, and I think Eric All is a very underrated tight end in this class. I really, really like his game. It's not the best tight end class. The top 3 are probably Brock Bowers, then some combination, top 4, some combination of Ben Sinnott from Kansas State. You're looking at, so Brock Bowers, Ben Sinnott from Kansas State, Jatavion Sanders from Texas, Theo Johnson from Penn State is a perfect 10 RAS score, athletic ability off the charts. But I got Eric All, tight end, Iowa, pad that tight end room and just have another fun weapon for, in this case scenario, Jaden Daniels or Jacoby Brissett if he doesn't start right away. But I said we need to weaponize this offense, literally weaponize and revamp the whole thing. Pick 193. Pick 193 overall for the Patriots. We got Caden Wallace, offensive tackle, Penn State. Last year they had City So starting. They had Antonio Mafi starting. The only two offensive linemen I like there is Cole Strange at left guard and then Michael Winu at right guard. I know he can play right tackle, and he's arguably as good, if not better, at right tackle, but his natural position is right guard specifically. And there's like a combination of Jake Andrews and David, not related, but Jake Andrews and David Andrews at center. So I think getting another high tools offensive tackle in here to be the swing tackle right off the bench, maybe even push for a starting spot in Caden Wallace. Last pick here, pick 231 overall for the Patriots. I have safety Auburn, Jalen Simpson. I know they just re-signed Kyle Duggar to a big deal, at least relatively big in terms of the safety market. I know they got Marte Mapu, who they drafted in the 3rd round last year, I believe, out of Sacramento State, small school kid, but you get a linebacker / safety tweener. So you got that versatility. So yeah, Jalen Simpson, safety, Auburn, maybe provide some special teams and all that. Auburn's got a few defensive secondary players that come to mind. They got corners Nehemiah Pritchett and DJ James coming in the draft. They got Jalen Simpson, safety out of Auburn, which the Patriots get here at 231 overall. Yeah. So, anyways, that was my take on the Patriots 7-round mock draft. You'll see here, obviously, we revamped the offense. I keep saying that, but like the Patriots had never under Bill Belichick in 20 something years, 22, 23 years, however long it was that he was there, never had dynamic athletic weapons. With Johnny Wilson, that's dynamic athletic. With A.D. Mitchell and Eric All, that's dynamic and athletic and pad the offensive line. We, as you can see, only 3 defense players. 5 out of the 8 picks here are offense. Some combination of quarterback, offensive lineman, wide receiver, tight end, any of that. It's revamping the offense, guys. So, anyways, I will be back most likely tomorrow. Look at my Twitter for any updates, or if you want to see a sneak peek, but the Jets picked 10th overall. So we'll be back tomorrow to flesh out my full thoughts on the Jets 7-round mock draft. This is a really good series I'm starting. So anyways, thanks for listening to Patriots 7-round mock draft. I wanted to flesh out my full thoughts to continue on my Twitter post. And that Twitter is at, once again, like I said in the beginning, at AWeingart13 if you want to check that out. Draft in a couple weeks. I can't wait. A lot of draft content leading up, a lot of draft content on the actual podcast, and a lot of draft content and coverage afterwards. Maybe some special guests to recap the draft. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.